let's get famous. Baby, let's get rich, let's get famous. Yeah.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna react to Joseline's Cabaret reunion part 2, so let's get into it. So the episode starts back up with Nacho getting mad at Kira, talking about get out of my face, don't record me. You know that. Then Joseline comes back to the stage, everybody claps for her. So the host is telling everybody that Nacho stepped out, she needs a moment because, you know, she was heated at Joseline. So the host asked Joseline, like, what's her favorite song? You know, the whole season she been playing her new music, so Joseline was like, oh, do it like this by B-Day. I mean, I don't like that song, but it's catchy, and I feel like since we watched the show a lot, like, that's the intro, like, we all, it's stuck in our heads, you know what I'm saying? Just like, all we winning a Grammy for that. I'm like, you're not winning a Grammy for that, but the song is catchy, like, it's viral on TikTok and Instagram, so shout out to Joseline. So then the host in the orange suit, I don't know her name, she's very gorgeous though, like, very, very gorgeous. But she basically asks Aqua, like, what made her feel comfortable enough to talk about the abortion to people that she don't know, because she just met them girls like an hour before that, and, you know, Big Lex with the double homicide comment. So then Aqua basically explained that it came out naturally, like, she didn't really think about it, like, that's how she felt in the moment. And I understood that, like, that just happens. So then the host asked her, did she regret it? She was like, no, like, that's my truth, I'm gonna tell my story. And I respect that. People would have been like, oh no, I feel bad, they make fun of me, but like, no, she was keeping it 100 if you ask me. I was kind of confused because if you watch the season, like, Joseline be talking shit about Aqua, but then it's like, at the end, she was gassing Aqua. She like, oh, it's your body, it's your choice. I mean, that's true. At the same time, just like, I was kind of confused. He was talking, because if you watch the show, Joseline was like, oh, do you want to kill yourself because you killed your twins, or do you want to kill yourself because that nigga that left you got you pregnant? And it's like, now at the end, you're like, it's your body, it's your choice. Like, she trying to gas Aqua up in her feel good, but it's like, on the season, you was not saying all that stuff. Like, you was putting her down. And I don't expect that. Like, I feel like that's really fake of Joseline to do. Like, no. Then the host asked Big Lex about the backlash he got for the comment, and Big Lex was like, oh, people agree with me, people didn't. I got a lot of supporters more than haters. But long story short, Big Lex did say that she shouldn't have said that. So, you know, that's what it is. So Barbie kind of like stepped in and she defended Aqua. She was like, oh, I'm gonna look at myself. So why would Aqua want to bring twins into a situation that's like uncomfortable? Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know, she's homeless and stuff like that. So I understand, like, yeah, why we want to bring your kids into that lifestyle. So that's when Joseline hit me with a curveball. She was like, oh, while Lucky's sitting next to you on the couch, she told me that you don't take care of your kids. Like, I guess Lucky was talking shit about Big Lex to Joseline. I'm just like, oh shit. And I guess it is true, because like, how would Joseline know that? Because Joseline was like, oh, how would I know you got kids? You told Lucky that. You didn't tell me that. And I'm just like, oh snap. And then Lucky's sitting there like, oh no, it wasn't like that. You're being messy. But Lucky never really got a chance to like explain it. They kept talking over her. But it's like, Lucky, why did you even say that in the first place? I still like Lucky though, but it's just like, that's my friend. I wouldn't say anything. Like, it's between me and you, and that's it. Like, I'm not gonna tell Joseline or anybody else. Like, it's our conversation. It stays between me and you. Like, that's it. So then Big Lex was like, oh, I don't tell nobody my business. Y'all don't know if I got kids or not. Y'all don't know if I got kids or not. Like, she just kept saying that over and over again. And I was like, do you got kids or not? Like, I got kind of confused at this point. Like, is you lying? Are you deflecting? Like, what? I'm just confused. If y'all know, let me know, please. That's when Boss said, she kind of goes back to the awkward thing. She's like, oh, I feel like Big Lex comment was ignorant. I mean, people thought it was funny. People thought it was sad. I kind of was in the middle. Like, it was funny when I saw, like, the snippet on the Zeus Network Instagram. Like, I thought it was funny. I was like, oh shit, like, she really said that. But then it's like, now after the whole episode, I was like, okay, it's not funny. Like, this girl really crying about it. It's not funny at all. So that's when Big Lex was like, oh, nobody was talking to you, Boss Cat. Mind your effing business. Like, Big Lex was going crazy, like, cursing up a storm. She's like, oh, you got kids, man. Mind your own kids. Your kids are grown. Take care of your kids. And then that's the boss was like, oh, I take care of my kids. My son going to college. He's 18 going to college. Where's your daughter at? You don't got custody of your daughter, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, like, did she got a daughter do, or what? Like, I'm so confused. I feel like she do, but she's trying to, like, hide her from the world, which is understandable. So then Boxer was like, oh, be a real B. Raise your effing kids. Where your kids at? Where your daughter at? I'm just like, damn, like, it was some peaty-ass argument. That's when Big Lex was like, oh, I don't tell nobody my business. It's my business. I don't go on here and tell my people my stuff. Like, she was just going crazy. Like, it was just back and forth. That's when Chanel kind of chimed in. She was like, oh, that she doesn't understand why Big Lex doesn't like her. Like, what's the reason? Don't get me wrong, I like Chanel, but I feel like, I don't know if she be playing dumb sometimes. Like, she always trying to act like calm. I mean, I don't think she's really like a fighter or anything like that, but it's like, something about Chanel is just iffy to me. I don't know. Like, I do like her though, but I just be like, are you capping? Like, are you serious? Like, I don't know. So that's when Big Lex responded to that. She was like, oh, I give everybody one chance with me. Once you cross that line, it's over. And she was like, oh, I feel like you picked a side when you was with Barbie and Aqua and That's when the host asked Sapphire about remember she do the doggy tweets at Chanel? So apparently, I guess they didn't show this, but I guess Barbie and Chanel was running up to Lucky and Sapphire trying to fight. So I guess Sapphire was mad about that. So the next day she threw the dog you talking about, oh, you following Barbie, which is understandable, because why you trying to fight me? Like, I don't got a problem with you. It's just Barbie and Lucky. But then Sapphire also did say, like, after the Cabaret they did hang out, she went to her birthday party, like, they cool now, so it's no beef. So that's when they played the Lucky versus Barbie fights. So as we all know, Barbie lost all the fights, like Lucky whooped her. No surprise. And it's funny because, you know, Barbie was laughing at herself getting beat up. Like, everybody was laughing. Like, nobody took it serious. So that's when Barbie was like, oh, I'm not a fighter. I'm not going to keep fighting. But she's talking about, oh, that she don't play for her man's money. So that's when Lucky was like, oh, I worked with y'all for a little bit. I didn't like it, so I got the F out of there. And basically, she was saying that I guess Barbie and her man was drunk. And I guess Lucky didn't feel safe. Something like that. So she just left. And I guess Lucky was supposed to go and make them money that night, but she never came back. So I guess that's what Barbie's talking about. The whole story's kind of like iffy because Lucky's like no, Barbie's like yes. I'm like, okay, I'm confused. Like, who's lying, who's not? So that's when the host was like, oh, was he a pimp or is he your manager? She was like, oh, he's my man. He makes me money. I make him money. He's the reason I'm on the show in the first place. Like, he really works with me, helps me get opportunities. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a manager if you ask me, because pimps don't really do that. Well, I don't know, because I'm not really into pimps, like, you know, but it sounds like a manager to me, so I'm just leave it like that. So that's when the host goes back. She asks about the Boss Tech and Big Lex fight when Big Lex pulled Boss Tech frontal off. So then Boss Tech was like, oh, I didn't know he was on fire. I didn't expect that. She also was like, oh, that all she did was put my frontal, like, my face was good, like, nothing was wrong with me. I was still attached. I was weak. So they didn't show this, but apparently Big Lex was saying how that night Boss Tech was talking shit about her, so that's why she wanted to fight her. I mean, we didn't see that, so I'm confused, or at least I believe we didn't see that. If that's what happened, let me know, because I don't remember. They started arguing again. That's when Boss Tech was like, oh, you like SpongeBob, go suck a D with your SpongeBob gap teeth. Like, I don't know, it's just like back and forth again, like talking over each other. I feel like the thing with Big Lex is like when you get her mad, like she just goes through the roof. Like she was just like, you could just tell like she was angry. Like everybody else was mad too, but like Big Lex was like, she had smoke coming out her ears. She was like, shut up, like I'm not talking to you. Like she was just going crazy. Then Aqua was like, oh, you came in as the aggressor, so why you mad? So that's when Joseline apologized to Aqua, talking about, oh, I'm sorry if you wasn't coughing. I'm just like, why is Joseline being nice to Aqua all of a sudden? That's when she was like, oh, I want you on season 3. I love you. Like, you're one of my favorites. I'm just like, what? I'm missing something? Like, I'm mad confused. And that's when Lexi Blow was like, oh, why did you throw food on Big Leg's bed? And that question never really got answered. Like, they just laughed about it. So that's when Joseline goes to Yummy. She's like, oh, I should have beat your effing ass. You a witch. You sneaky. You this. I'm like, okay. I don't know if that's how Yummy really talks with that little girl voice, but when she was fighting Natural, she was not talking like that. But then again, when you're mad, you talk kind of deeper. But I don't know. Like, I feel like her voice is fake. She was like, no, I wasn't being sneaky. Actually, I was like, I don't know. It just sounds mad forced. So yeah, Joseline saying that you sneaky, like you start mad drama, and that's when Big Lex was like, cap. Like every time Joseline said something, she kept saying cap. And I was kind of confused. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like Big Lex was being rude. Like, let's let Joseline talk real quick. So that's when Ballistic was like, oh, what's all that rah-rah for? Like, why are you doing all that? And then Joseline was like, oh, I'm talking to Yummy. Mind your business. Shut up. Shut the F up. That's when Big Lex kept going and going. And that's when I was like, oh, turn her effing mic off. Cut off her mic. We're not talking to her right now. Cut off her mic. Let everybody else talk. And, you know, she kept talking and talking. That's when Ballistic was like, oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the F up. And honestly, I get, like, sometimes you get heated, but I feel like she's a woman. Like, you don't gotta do all that. Like, let Joseline and her argue, and that's it. Like, he was doing kind of too much for me, personally. Then Ballistic got out. She was like, you corny. You a corny ass bitch. Shut the F up. You corny. Like, he was just mad. I'm just like, damn, like you acting like you arguing with a dude. Like that's a woman. Just calm down. Like he didn't touch her or anything like that, so that's good. But like he still was being too aggressive. Like just calm down. I guess Joseline got mad because her fiance was arguing with her, so that's when Joseline like she kind of. How can I explain it? Like Joseline got up and then Big Legs was over there, and like the candle was kind of like behind Big Legs, but not like really behind her. I can't explain it. It was like a Hanukkah candle, and Joseline took that shit and hit her in the back with it, like. And I felt bad. I was just like, damn. Cause I like Big Legs and I like Joseline, but Joseline do too much sometimes. And I feel like Big Legs kind of did start with the cat thing, but I feel like the candle did not need to happen. Like I really felt bad when it happened to her. That's when security got the elected decision, and Sapphire was like, let me talk to her. Like Sapphire was running back there to talk to her, and I guess they did. So then Joseline and Melissa, they got off the stage too, and they was talking. He was like, oh, I didn't like how she was being rude, like all that extra shit for what. Like I understand what they was coming from, but they was doing too much. Like just calm down. So I guess Billy was in the dressing room. She was like, oh, I hope she got the rating she's looking for. Like I felt bad. I'm just like, damn. I feel like she's low-key going through stuff at home, but you know, she don't want to put her business out there for us. But like, I feel bad. Like, she just looks sad. So that's when Joseline comes back to this day. She got a new outfit on. She's talking about all that. She feel like the girls do whatever they want, and she does not with it. And she's like, oh, I'm glad they jumped in and checked that hole because she was doing too much. You know, Joseline be talking her shit. Like, she don't care. And she was like, oh, I don't understand why other girls are coming at me because when Yummy snuck Natural, I was hugging Natural. Which she did, I ain't gonna lie. She was hugging Natural, telling her to be strong. I'll give her that. She was saying that she feel like Natural's drugs and then like her cuckoo pills don't mix. I don't think Natural's cuckoo. I just feel like, I don't know. She just got a lot of aggression, but I don't think she's cuckoo. Like, she's not mentally crazy. Like, she knows what she's doing, if that makes sense. She was like, oh, I should have let Yummy dance to the Natural. Like, she was mad. She was like, oh, I don't F with Natural. I don't F with Big Legs. I'm like, okay, Joseline. So that's when Big Legs comes back and like her whole demeanor changed. Like I feel like she was sad, but she was over at the same time. Like she was just calm. Like I don't know. I said automatically was like, oh, you a fake ass B. You a hater. You wanna be me. I got a show. You don't got one. You wanna be me. I'm 10 decades in this shit. It's like Big Legs was just like looking at her, like not saying anything. Big Legs was like, oh, all I gotta say is that all you girls individually, y'all fake as fuck. And you know, she's like, oh, I'm done. Bye. She just got up and she left. Then the host was like, oh, Natural needs to come back out. And Joseline like, no, I don't want Natural. But Natural comes out anyway. So Natural like, oh, I just want to thank Joseline. And Joseline was like, oh, your mommy told you to tell me that. And I was just laughing. Like, Joseline, just let her talk. Like, oh, I appreciate this opportunity. And then Joseline was like, oh, you a porn star. You not me. You think porn is doing something? I actually got a show. I'm 10 decades. I'm actually doing something. I'm making history. All you're doing is selling sex. I kind of get what Joseline was saying, but I feel like at the same time, Joseline always felt like she's above them. Like, yeah, you've been in this game for like 10 decades, which is true. But it's like at the same time, it's like be a little more humble than that. And that don't mean that Natural or Big Legs can't work their way up. Like, we all gotta start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect their hustle. So then Natural's like, oh, I don't even do porn no more for 6 years. You know, she was just saying that. She's like, oh, I'm a legend. That's when she goes to Yummy. She was like, oh, I came here. I want to whoop your ass. But I've been taking my cuckoo pills. You know, I'm calm now. I'm relaxed. Me personally, I would have got up. I would have go F Yummy up. But, you know, I respect her decision, I guess. Then that's when Joseline was like, oh, Yummy, you need to say sorry because you sneaky. You started the whole beef with me and Natural in the first place. You know, Yummy never really apologized. She just sat there like, I don't care. And then Natural was like, oh, you know, I know you don't care. That's your problem. You never care about anything. You just drinking my liquor, smoking my weed in my face, smiling the entire time in the house. And that's when Joseline was like, oh, Natural, I'm disappointed in you. I wanted you to win. I actually liked you. I cared about you. But you think you disrespect me as not okay. I feel like Joseline's rude, so Natural's rude back. Like, period. That's how it should be. That's when Natural thought, you can't talk to me how you want to talk to me. And that's when Joseline was like on her phone, not paying her any mind. She's like, oh, escort her out. She got to go. And then they came and got her. And she's still talking. Natural's still like talking, saying her piece or whatever. That's when at the end, Sapphire tries to talk, but like the time ran out. She's like, oh, I made myself sick for you, Joseline. Putting you before me. And then Jocelyn's like, oh yeah, I agree with that. That's true. And then the hope's like, we gotta wrap it up. Honestly, I feel like the reunion, like, I feel like a lot of issues didn't get solved. Like, it should have been a part 3. Like, They didn't really talk about everything. Like, they didn't talk about Boss Tech alcohol problem. They didn't talk about Lexi Blow at all. Like, some people didn't even get attention. The reunion to me was rushed, and I didn't like that. Like, we should have had like a part 3, I believe, because the part 2 wasn't enough. Like, we needed an extra episode. But that's it. The reunion to me, it was kind of like up and down. Like, some parts were good, other parts were like drag. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.